Welcome to 15 Minutes on Google News. This section today we're doing health. So this is what I do. I just go on Google News. Boom, boom, boom. And hit their topics. They always go spotlight or top stories. But as you go through, these are all categories that Google uses to communicate to the people they're trying to communicate to. And then there's only really two things going on here. One is programming, pre-programming, desensitization, and the other is straight up communication, like espionage type stuff. At another time I'll break down the process a little bit and background and all that stuff. But this is just what I do, so this is easy for me to share. I spend about no more than 15 minutes a day on Google News, getting a feel for where they're at, where their plans are, how the progress is going, what's next. Because there's a lot of surprises, to be honest, even from my perspective. From my perspective being that I thought this was going to go a lot sooner, a long time ago, a lot faster. And so I'm kind of watching it like it's behind the ball here to me. I think they're kind of ready, and some of this stuff is shocking. Now, what I do is I just pull it up and I don't sign in. I turn off anything that would be a locator, and I don't click in my own sort of news what I want to read, because I don't want it to start feeding me some sort of local news. I don't want to get compartmentalized, so I pop around and I don't get vortexed. You gotta put one foot in, pull it up, read it, and put it away. And the truth is that they're really trying to do all the communication right here. I mean, this is it. Like, you don't have to even click on the stories. The headlines are really it. That's obviously, headlines are headlines. Headlines rule. Headlines change your mind. They give you the whole bit, the spin right up front. And then that's why headlines are always so quirky. So they can fit little words and concepts and communications in there all the time. Categorically speaking, for instance, why I decided to jump on and just start doing this. I was always going to do this, but this one here is shocking to me. That this is a headline on Google News, and we all know cannabis is legal or whatnot, but this is nothing. Nothing gets top billing and reverses aging processes in the brain. I mean, that is like miracle cure headline, just like, oh, here it is, whatever. I mean, come on. If this came out 10 years ago, it would be a worldwide revolution. So this is what the part of it is. They can't release things until they get us prepped to react the way that they want us to. For instance, here we go with the desensitization of rape. I didn't mean to laugh at rape. I was laughing because I can't say the word desensitization. Right? They want us to, or they want rape, the concept, to be erased. They want everything about sex to take the next level towards, like pain and real bad stuff. The LGBT movement was not about gays. It was about trannies and hermaphrodites and Baphomet, Luciferian worship. It's a religion, these people. And right, we know this. And then the LGBT movement was about kids. There's a little P on the end of the LGBT that no one ever knows about, and it's for pedo, and it's being normalized. So desensitization, normalization, they do it with language. And so this is just a conceptual work on the brain with the rape. They're erasing the word-related concepts. Rape is a fire word, and now it's like, rape is even when you take a condom off. They're just making it all wishy-washy, gone away. And there's a reason for that, and you'd have to really know what's going on in Sweden, Germany, and it's a tough topic to talk about because they have soldiers out there, and it's coming down. But this rape thing is going to come to our shores, and this is our mentally preparation for it. It's going to come in all sorts of rapey thingies, kids, girls, boys, and they want it to have the longest grassroots growth that they can give it. So they're desensitizing us to that. Right here, Arkansas parents arrested after newborn found with severe bat bites. Around 100 rodent bites on its body. And that almost sounds like that was a single event, where maybe a week of torture or something like that, actually. And so this is a really strong downplay, dude. If you, I know taking care of children that aren't all that well taken care of, and just even a little bit of neglect is so obvious on a child. And to have like a single sort of bite where they would, maybe there's something like bug bites in their bed, is just so obvious on a child. A single rodent bite would be traumatic to your eyeball. You'd be like, oh my God, there's a 5-year-old with a rat bite. And so 100 is, way more than 5. Just desensitization of abuse to their own children. Everyone's just, and also they're white, so this is lots of race baiting, because, it's all bad. This is about Michigan and lead in the water. And again, this is an atrocity of atrocities. This had happened in 75, when they were doing the gas crisis and stuff. Something like this was never happening. I mean, it was happening and there was lawsuits, but this is like, we're going on for like 5 years. People are dying of it, and we're acting like they're in prison. Like this is the movie from, whatever it is. Like we're cordoned off and we can't help them. Like there's some other third world country. These poor people. Anytime they can, they're gonna get sexuality in the headlines, especially if it's a young person. So when you're on health, I'll just stick with health because what we're talking about. Health is kind of my wheelhouse. And especially in terms of like decoding how all this stuff is being rolled out. Because these answers here are also big, because this creates a divide where the old establishment won't accept it and the new establishments get with it. So there's a lot of young millennial pushing, and this is reflected right here in another story. Does your doctor's age matter? Well, what is that suggesting? In some cases, treated by older doctors, in some cases, may face a higher risk of death. That's what that's about. They're trying to get you to not like old people, especially like old white guys that are kind of ready for retirement. Like, we've all known that it's hard to get a job as an older person, but now it's, they're turning down doctors. Doctors are supposed to be old. I mean, if you got a group of people, nurses and doctors, and they're talking about your case, and there's like a 75-year-old doctor there who's all clear-headed and standing, like you want to make sure he's talking about your case and thinking about what everybody else is saying and probably has the last say. Not the 21-year-old. There is nothing new in medical school, bro. The body's always been the same. The whole medical establishment is, oh man, whew, not good for you, not good for us, not good for the team. Oh, and here we go, more desensitization of the human miracle. 3D printed ovary allows infantile mouse to mate. They're prepping us for just making babies at home, but not really for that. What they really want us to do is sort of erase the specialness of it. There's another one up here. Using telemedicine to acquire abortion-inducing medication safe and effective. Just more abortion, just more let's just kill them. I read a story the other day. This is the other reason I was going to do this. I was actually going to search it, but it is saying that infanticide, killing your baby, your infant, is basically the same as abortion. So, if you actually had to take it to term or whatever, and you still didn't want it, you could lawfully kill it. Under the law, man, your children are your property, and you're not going to necessarily bring charges up on me for killing my own child. This is obviously not how we're allowed to behave, but in the law, they have that. It's true. in a certain way. And children are your property. You're 100% your responsibility in a certain way. They want parents to start feeling that way. They want people we're like animals, right? We're just like zoo animals. We just sort of evolved, and some of us really didn't. What else is here? Oh, here we go again. Scientists get closer to making personalized blood cells by using patients' own stem cells. So the other thing I saw was they're starting to transfuse young blood for health reasons, and like the vampire mask that one Kardashian girl did of blood. And it's true. This is one of the things that goes on with the drinking of the blood. It has a whole lot of life force in it, and they do things where they can get you to release certain hormones in it, whether it's fear or whatever else, into the blood before they get it out of you and drink it. And then it's human. It's like taking hormones. You just same thing. And so what they'll also do is like extract it in concentrated form with a hypodermic needle. This is all satanic torture, of course, and related to drinking blood. But then here we're just sort of getting used to all that stuff. Of course, also making babies and stem cells and reducing the human miracle to just stuff that isn't even true about evolution and all this stuff they tell us. It's all false. So this fit but fat thing, may be a myth. Well, that myth, you gave us this myth, a long time ago when, America was allowed to be fat, forced to be fat, encouraged to be fat, and they used myths like this and just sort of planted them out there. People didn't, fit people are fit. Fat is a bad sign for a lot of things. It's like the number one indicator for all the other diseases that kill you. And they knew that when they were making us fat. How'd they do it? High fructose corn syrup and Crisco, which replaced just basic sugar and butter. The land of milk and butter. Butter and honey. Butter is really good for you. Animal fat is what cures heart disease. All the research says so. You wouldn't believe how I eat. And you wouldn't even eat how I eat. You'd have to see me and see me eat it and have me show you. But that's going to be a lot of information. So now they're telling us some truth. They're moving back and revealing stuff. And this is how they kind of keep everybody on the hook a little bit, is always revealing a little bit of stuff. But this whole thing where we're actually going to get really healthy soon. They're going to tell you fat is healthy, butter is healthy for you. They're going to tell you cannabis is healthy for you. They're going to get real true on a lot of stuff. And that is actually no longer pre-programming. That is going to be creating a divide. And I honestly think that flat earth and cannabis, a couple other issues, are going to fall into the mainstream and create a huge divide with straight up soccer moms and Republicans and Vatican and the whole world. The health thing is huge. The health thing is huge. We are so lied to. We are so unhealthy. We are so poisoned. It's because we're dumb about our body. Because I'm telling you, the whole medical establishment is a joke. They don't know anything. Just remember, when you get cancer and you go to an oncologist who spent 50 years to be an oncologist, and they go, well, we don't have anything for you but poison. And then, well, I guess we can send you to a nutritionist to talk to you about food. And that nutritionist has a master's degree. He's 29 years old. Doesn't know anything about cancer. Why? Because food is big, dude. Food is your building blocks. And food is what causes the disease. Lack of nutrition is what causes disease. And so obviously the cure's in the fruit of the trees like God gave us. Amen. So that's just a taste. 15 minutes on Google Health. 5:17:17. Decoding the headlines and seeing where the beast is trying to move a little bit, and let you know what God's doing still. God's working. God's saving people. Truth wins. Truth sets you free. Maranatha.